tough conclusion to a really tough season. A lot of tears in that locker room, rightly so. Just heartbreaks for them. Guys have worked hard, given a lot, sacrificed a lot. Today was kind of a microcosm of the issues we've had here lately, and not getting enough production on offense. Thought the pick six getting called back was a big blow. Very next play they scored on. It was tough. We needed some confidence. We needed some. It's the first takeaway we've gotten in a while. Been our first defensive score of the season in that regard. So just really disappointed that worked out the way it did. But got to respond when those things occur. And missing the field goal right before half, just momentum that you need. We were going to get the ball in the third quarter. So but once again, not near close to being good enough on offense, and then didn't execute like we need to on defense in the second half. Questions?
Matt and Kev.
Coach, you mentioned pick six. On their first drive, you got them stopped in the end zone. You got a pass interference penalty. They completed about 80% of their passes. Just, I guess, how disappointing was it? They just seemed like kind of had you on skates, your secondary, as far as their passing game.
Yeah, it was just a tough combination of trying to get pressure and play enough zone. Just with kind of where we are with our guys on defense, just felt like we needed to play more zone. Didn't really feel like we matched up as well with them to play man, and that just obviously the format we tried to use didn't work very well, and didn't get much pressure, didn't get off the field, and they completed way too many passes. So they're a very good offense. One of the better ones we've played in regards to ability to throw the football, and quarterback's very accurate. So we just didn't get him off point enough, didn't get him uncomfortable or stress him in any way.
Kevin McDustin.
Coach, at what point do you evaluate coaching staff members, and will you consider any changes in the offseason?
Yeah, so I think that evaluation process begins immediately. So yeah, there's definitely that's part of this process, right? You got to be accountable for the performance of your guys and accountable for your areas of responsibility. So we got to starts with me. I'm the one in charge, and so that accountability flows downhill. So yes, that'll be immediately evaluated.
Dustin, the same.
Obviously, it kind of goes along with that for the offense. You guys obviously it's another week where you get a good first drive, so a good scripted first drive, and we're able to get anything going after that. And just sort of what this stands out as to why one drive doesn't become a second.
Yeah, and that's a frustrating thing for me. I see exactly what you see, and the ability for us not to be able to sustain that. It's just not. That's what you have to be able to do. They're going to make adjustments. You make adjustments, and that's what play caller has to do. That to me is part of the ability to adapt and based on the coverages that they're giving you or the looks up front and different things, and be able to get you don't obviously script everything, but you get off that script and then you're able to mix and match the things that they're giving to you. But have not been able to do that consistently, so that shows you a pattern. That shows you a concern for sure. That's something that has to be addressed, and it's how you have to coach the game. That's part about coming out second half and making adjustments and those kinds of things. So that's definitely something that has to be addressed.
Coach Sammy and Keaton.
Coach Donovan McElwain only played one or two plays. Why wasn't he more involved in the second half? Maybe to get those valuable game reps in a hostile situation.
Yeah, I think part of it was just. As we got behind, ability for us to be able to throw the football, I think that kind of added to it, unfortunately. And because it really happened pretty efficiently there in the third quarter where we got down by another score and then went from 10 to 17, So that's probably added to it more than anything, But I just felt like we had a better chance of throwing the football with Grant.
Coach, saw Micah after the game waiting to give high fives and kind of dap up his teammates. Just talk about what he's meant to this program, his likely departure, and how that's going to impact him.
Yeah, he's a special player. He gives us all. He's got an injury even this week. Didn't really practice all week and plays his tail off every single snap. I don't think he ever came out but for a couple snaps. And he's a pretty special young man that means a lot to this place. Means a lot to me personally. And yeah, he's got a decision to make for sure. But he's obviously given this place a whole lot. And whatever he decides to do, we're going to support him 100%. But he's one of those warrior type guys that plays with everything he's got. Obviously, he's a very, very talented player on the field as well. And but the things he brings, to the whole, the psyche of the team and the edge that you have to have, and those are the things that he adds as well. So, special person, a very, very special player.
Griffin.
Coach, I know you talked about kind of how you're going to evaluate coaching changes right away How about the players, relationship with them, guys staying, guys going? How do you go about evaluating that?
Yeah, there's a balance with all that, because you have a very, very tight recruiting schedule that you're on, so some of those conversations have already begun. Some will happen, very efficiently here this weekend because we hit the road tomorrow and are in homes, and it's a contact period starting tomorrow. So that's a very, very important part of our next step for us as a program. We have a really special class that we're about to sign that we'll sign here in a couple weeks that we're very excited about. But at the same time, we got to go see them. I've been able to get in front of them, for a while. So that's the next step, and then talking with those players and meeting with them and just trying to make sure they make the right decision for them and, just the right decision for us. And we got to, there's a lot of guys that have the additional years now that they got to decide what they want to do, and a lot of it is based off of how we tell them where we see them, and to me there's a pruning process that I think needs to take place, in our program when you go through and you got a lot of guys because of all the extra year and everything. And I think that's going to be an important next step for us to get that right. And when you prune, you cut back in order to grow, to move forward. That's just that's the way it works. And so that to me is what, I think is kind of the next step for us, and we'll evaluate those things and be able to do a great job of that as a staff. It's just, as hard as this is, this has been, I've never been through a season this difficult. Coached for 30 years, and it's been tough. It's been really, really tough. But we're going to, just do a tremendous job of evaluating where we are and make the changes that need to be made and move forward. There's no doubt about it. And, my heart breaks for these players, and I know how hard we've all worked, and that's a constant, but the results haven't been anything close to what we expected.
Matt, that's one.
Coach, I know one of the things on defense you got third down stops. I think actually you were pretty good tonight on
We
third
were,
down,
yeah.
but you just didn't get that many. Is that kind of go back to the struggles in the pass defense on first and second down where they were dictating?
To me, that's kind of been, and I will say this with going against this offense in the past, that's always been the big challenge is the first and second downs, in my opinion, against the pass game and not giving up explosive plays. And we tried, we didn't give up a lot of those early on and started getting some a little bit later on, but that's where we tried to get into those third downs, and they've been really good on third downs. And we were, like I said, we just didn't get to them enough. We were good on third downs for the most part, but did not have a chance to get in those calls enough. And unfortunately, on offense, we got ourselves in too many of those third longs, So, but that's part of, staying on schedule on one side of the ball and keeping off schedule on the other. So that's where, to me, the frustrating thing kind of comes defensively. We weren't able to get enough of those to allow us to get off the field.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Awesome.
Two players right outside.
Okay. Have a good night, Elio.